Welcome back to the channel. My name is SV, and in today's video we are going to do something a little bit different and I mentioned it in yesterday's video, so if you haven't watched yesterday's video, do so, because some cool stuff. We saw the completion of the fuel generator plant, and we did a little bit of a tour of what the new factory will look like and the concept behind it. But with that, we actually don't have the materials we need to continue working on this. And one thing I wanted to do was build a train line that basically allows us to drive a train from from this factory to our starter one and then back, basically. That's really what I want. Um, so you know, let's just head over that way. Built like a little bit of a hypertube cannon, but it doesn't really do the trick like I wanted it to. I figured it would really propel us over here super quick, but it totally doesn't. But we'll take a nice little ride on the hypertube cannon. We'll go right by our power plant. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, you're going to see it from this wild angle from the hypertube. It's got 80 fuel generators in it, all overclocked to 194%. So we would have done 34 fuel generators times 4, which would have meant 136 fuel generators if we didn't overclock. You know, we had plenty of shards, and I didn't cheat. I didn't give myself any shards since mods are available. I totally could. I could grab oh shoot, what is that one mod that lets you just fly around and all of that stuff? I figure the moment I start using that, it's going to be a crutch, and then it's really difficult to stop using that. So I decided not to implement that. At least at this point. Maybe once we start producing all the materials that we really want, I'll bust it out so that we can uh, give ourselves a whole bunch of power shards and really just fuck this whole planet up with machines and power and all that stuff. This area has so many nodes in it that there's absolutely going to be a pretty robust train station right here to help with busing all of that into our main base. There's so much in here, so much in there. Um, when we did a little factory tour the other day, yesterday, and look, there's like a concrete or limestone node right there. We'll bust it in. Um, so when we did our tour the other day, and I think there's another one up there as well, the concept is like separate buildings for a task. And so we currently have iron smelting. Obviously, we'll have copper and we'll have caterium. Quartz refinement where it's not smelting, but obviously going into constructors. Um, but the other concept I want to do there, and we saw it a little bit with the iron plates, iron rods, screws, but I'm thinking, oh, do we have a completely separate factory for reinforced iron plates? Probably. Do we have a completely separate factory for rotors? Probably. And that's the way I'm envisioning it. And then the moment we need to create additional reinforced iron plates, we build a floor to have another line of reinforced iron plates coming out. Because basically my goal is to bring in, well, as best as I possibly can make it, is to send out 780 of an item per minute on a line. So it gives us a good base mark for like how we want to deal with future buildings. So like if I'm looking to build modular frames, I know that I have an input of 780 reinforced iron plates to work off of, and so I build my factory accordingly. Now that's a shit ton of reinforced iron plates, and it's unlikely that we'll get to a situation where we're making that many anytime soon. But that's kind of the concept I want to go for, especially if we're going to take in all of the materials in this area. So first things first, I know we're going to need, like for example, if we look at transportation, railways take steel pipes and steel beams. So we're going to take all of those because we have quite a bit of a track to build on the way back. And I do think we might actually need to build uh, 2 train stations, 1, and then let's do like, I think 2 freight cars is probably enough for what we really need. And so that means we've got the steel pipes, we need some cable. And this starter factory has done us very, very well. On top of it, feeding ludicrous amounts of tickets for us. Beacons, I produced a whole bunch of them a while back. We'll just take a full stack of that, that's fine. Are we full up on these modular frames yet? No, because I was borrowing a whole bunch to make my temporary setup here. Boy, let me tell you, computers, modular frames, all of this stuff is so expensive. Like for example, the fact that we don't have enough heavy modular frames. And then also this I'm sure is stalled. But, oh, that's actually shocking that we have enough there. Oh, it's plastic right now. Okay, that's totally fine. But what we're going to do is heavy modular frame. We're going to handcraft the remaining 17. So I just want to see what we've got. 85, some screws, some encased industrial beams. We're just going to take all of these. These are probably not backing up as much as we'd like, only because we took a whole mess of them when we just redid the fuel generator plant. Okay, let's see here. Let's get some concrete and some modular frames, some screws. Okay, and then we'll get some beacons, which we should have plenty of. I think I constructed, I don't know, 100-ish. Doesn't hurt to take a bigger stack than what we really need because, well, oh man, we used a lot of our miners. I crafted a full box of them before. There's our beacons. Okay. Alright, let's craft out these heavy modular frames. Oop, that beer is empty. Let's pick up this beer. So we just need the remaining 21 here. And then really, I think it's because I can't really put down a train line or a train and make it operational unless it's connected to power, which means like we need to have at least one station. But wouldn't it be beneficial if we added a station now and then eventually said like, hey, let's build in some pieces that we use frequently? And so like that's kind of what I'm thinking we're going to do right now, where we're going to build a station, and I'm going to just build it. Let me get some more concrete. I'm going to build it way down there, because if anything I could get my materials just directly into there. As you can see, a lot of them are just being fed down that way. I can just bridge them off and get them down there, whatever I want. And so I can say like, oh, you know, I really want concrete to be fed down there to me. I really want steel pipes, steel beams, encased industrial beams, plastic, rubber to be fed into the train, and then maybe I could have the train just like driving down, unloading, and then have smart splitters just sorting it for me when I get back. I like that idea a lot, and it would save us time coming back and forth. Also, by the way, I was gonna go and get that, but what you don't see, because they're all glitched out, there's like fucking 4 or whatever the spitter guys down there. There's so many of the spitter guys down there, so I said, nah, F that. We'll deal with that shit later. Okay, so I'm going to build it. Oh, we got the grid snapping issue. So we're going to build the train line this way, and then it'll just join onto our... And the intent is, like, this isn't the end of the road for our road/train line. I plan on going around this unless this becomes like one of those death areas, because there is a death area. So I'm hoping that's not the case. All right, train station. And it's literally, we're just basically putting down a train station. And then I'm just going to build like a little bit of a railway here so that the train cars can sit on. It's literally just like, we just need something to get the ball rolling. And I'll just lazily do a turn here. Train tracks, I really don't like the way that they operate. And you know what I will do? Let's connect this up to power for right now so that we have it. And let's call this like starter base. Have an efficient day. I totally agree. Well, maybe I'll make that my slogan for the channel, because I absolutely do subscribe to having an efficient day. So now's where we get to have a nice little chat, because we're going to build a fucking ludicrously long train line back. And let's see if we even have the materials for it. Ooh, also, let's make sure. Okay, I want to make sure. That's what I want to see. I cannot go underneath that amount of resources. And the reason is, if anything, I'll fucking put a train down, and then we'll just drive it back and go pick up some more. Oh, I'm drinking this new beer. Not new. It's new to me. But, wild sour. Okay, I semi-lied. I used to drink wild sour ages ago when I first lived in Austin. But I picked it up this time, and they didn't have the flavor I remember. So I picked up a different one, and I don't know what effing flavor. It says psychopathic on it. I have no freaking idea what that means, but damn if it isn't good. You know what, with these asphalt foundations, it's actually really difficult to see where the lines are. And this actually, like, we'll be able to delete the hypertube network once this is done, and we'll move it to the appropriate place, because I'd like this train line to, like I said, be a little bit more automated. If anything, it could just run back and forth all the time, if it really wanted to, or, you know, we just use it as like our mechanism to go back and forth and transport materials. But I needed the hypertube network added quickly because I needed to get materials to start up that base sooner rather than later. This will make things much more efficient in the long run, but I definitely needed that. In hindsight, I should have built it in the middle so that I wouldn't have to delete it. But actually, that's a lie. I would have had to delete it anyway because there's no way I would have built the overhead system that I planned to build that in. It's going to flow basically above the middle lanes. All the hypertubes will be going to the appropriate areas in the middle lanes. Really to junctions, like you can't have it to be just like one continuous piece like it is right now. I mean, you know, maybe I'd do a junction up into the Rocky Desert here, and then a different junction at the power plant, and you know, it's just one of those things of like, you have spots where it's a break in the line, and then you make a choice where you want to continue, and then just, you know, label everything with a sign that says this one takes you to Rocky Desert, and this one takes you to the power plant. And so if you're at the Rocky Desert, you have a quick path to the power plant if you so choose. Okay, that looks pretty clean. I'm debating whether I want to take all of these corners and turn them into actual turns, and if I want to do the new tricks with foundations. So leave that in the comments if you think I should tackle that, but there's quite a bit of turns in this train track here. And now that I look at the, oh, I know why I go in and then back out. It's because there's that one like rock found formation or whatever the hell it is. It's something that causes it to. Okay, that one is not big enough. It was too big a turn, I should say. How do I want to do this? Okay, let's bring that back like one more. So this is where like train tracks, because of their, by the way, I changed the autosave to every 15 minutes because I was building that fuel generator plant, and holy F was it just like a nightmare. Alright, so we're just going to do that for now. We'll figure that out later. Maybe make that a much more pronounced corner. But, you know, temporary solutions yield permanent. I don't know. I don't know what to finish that with. Permanent solutions also? Like, temporary solutions yield permanent ideas? Maybe something like that. Basically, once you get everything down and then you're able to look at it from how can it be better standpoint, it makes it so much easier to. Ooh, what if I build a train station over on our side back there, and it just automatically unloads materials for me already? I like this. Yeah, depending on how much time we have in this video. In fact, the whole video might just be making this railroad here. Sometimes I decide to do some of this stuff off camera, and sometimes I decide to do it on. But to me, it really is like, this is what Satisfactory is. Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat my playthrough and and say like, oh yeah, everything is super easy. No, you come across a lot of bullshit when you're doing shit like this for hours on end. Satisfactory, a great podcast game. You know, throw on a podcast, throw on something on Netflix or on YouTube on the other screen, and like shit. Like I think I rewatched Queen's Gambit, building parts of this base. Which, by the way, what a great show. All right, let's see if we can do 2 turns here. I think we're going to be able to, yeah. I like when you can get the angles to work out just right. And it's not overbearing. And then I'll paint this roadway because the middle 2 lanes are a road. I'll paint that with the road stripes as well. And then we'll give it a little bit of flourish. I have an idea of how I want to do this platform that isn't just a flat ass piece of asphalt. Although I do really like the way the asphalt looks. Oh, I was like, something looked off there. See, that fucking thing right there just popping up out of nowhere. And then you've got the one off to the right that also like really impedes. Like you've got the one that's there and then this one, so you can't just do a line straight through. Well, maybe like a single, one of these single lines, sure, but doesn't help when you're trying to build like a roadway. I plan to use some, for some instances, rare instances, when resource nodes are relatively close to each other, but too close where you would send separate trains to them, to use the under part of this road here as a bus, a resource bus. So that's one of the plans that I have for this as well. That might come in as a problem in some spots, so maybe it's, instead of undercarriage, it goes up on the top, maybe above where the hypertubes will be. So we'll play it by ear. There's some parts over where I was originally going to build my base that were problematic with that. I have my, let's see if we can take anything with us while we're doing this. Yeah, we got some things. It's less stops for us. I mean, essentially, once we have the train, I can just stop right here, pick up whatever I need to pick up, load it up into the freight cars, and get it moving. Let's see. We're not that far. This is actually moving a little bit faster than I expected it to. This would be a great thing to do on like a live stream. I was thinking about doing a live stream on Saturday. What was that? The 27th? But I was on call for work, and because I was on call for work, I didn't want to have you know, my work applications open and then just, you know, hearing all the notifications from those. That's not pleasant for recordings, especially if you use the same software. You'd be like, what the F? A little bit of PTSD there. So decided to spare you on that. And then on Sunday, which is the day I'm recording this, a little bit things I needed to handle. You know, sometimes you gotta just catch up from the week and do life. And so that's what I did today, and it was nice. But yeah, for future ones, I definitely want to do some live streams where I'm just building out some of this stuff, and I'll obviously upload the live streams. Ooh, I should get that one at some point when I get my gas mask back on. Yeah, if I do a live stream, obviously it'll end up on YouTube as a VOD after, so you won't miss a thing anyway. But if people have interest, leave it in the comments. I'm down for that, both for this and for oxygen. I'd be down to record, like while I'm recording them, also do that, but that would mean like I'd be starting and stopping a live stream, which I think is fine, but I actually don't know what kind of a performance hit my PC would take if I'm doing streaming as opposed to recording. I feel like recording is less of a performance hit than direct live stream is. But I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've done it, so I don't want to assume. Yeah, we're doing okay on time, and look at we're almost at our base. We're gonna get this train up and running, and then potentially set up our little sorting area just prematurely anyway. I say prematurely, but really what I mean is like preemptively is probably the better word there, because having a nice little sorting area set up like this is just going to benefit us in the long run. So if you haven't noticed, I'm trying to line them up on each of the edges of these foundations. And we're likely to just bring it... You know what, why don't we bring it to here, and then we'll just like end it right there for now. I have the materials for a train station, which is kind of wild. Do I have enough for a freight platform? Oh my lord, I do. Do I have enough for 2? I do. But I just ran out of heavy modular frames, which is what we wanted to avoid running out of. Do I have any in here or anything I can construct them with? Ooh, thank you. Too sharp a turn. That's fine. Let's bring it to here. Too sharp a turn. There's no way that okay. I was gonna say there's no effing way that that's too sharp a turn. Alright, so this is gonna be new base. Alright, and then we're gonna drop one of these, and then a freight car, and then what I want is enough for 4 smart splitters, so I need that, and then I need I'm gonna do let's do 8, which means I'll probably need, let's go with like 16 smart splitters. And there's logic behind this, so bear with me on that. Okay, actually that's fine. We'll just drive it backwards. And then this needs power. Alright, so let's just go in reverse. And so we need, and actually just, I'm gonna think of it, do I have, oh, that's a dangerous side to exit on. Do I have any of these materials in here? We might have. Okay, we have that, we have that, and we have that. Okay, nope. If you didn't know, you can reverse yourself in a tube, by the way. You just hold backwards. Okay, so here's why what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna set this to unload, and then we'll imagine. Oh, and I've got plenty of the plates here. Yeah, okay. So let's say iron rods. I think I should have those here. It's concrete. It'd be really nice if I actually kept track of what's in these, but here, let's move. We don't need those right now. Okay. So I actually don't need to go to base for any of the materials that I want. So let's just say I don't know. We just want to have, how many storage containers did I say? 8? So let's just say those are our storage containers. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what's going to go in each one of them, but at least we have a place where we can. It's probably not a good idea that I put it right here, but whatever. We'll just build the next factories over on that side. So let's say I have. Okay, let's go with. I'm trying to think of like what we would want. Okay, so we do one smart splitter here, and then we say the left side will be, let's say, steel beam. Okay, the center will be steel pipe. How about that? And then the right side will be iron plate, because we need those. Okay. There's a bit of a flaw so far in our logic, but I will tackle that here in a second. Just want to do one thing at a time. It's mainly what happens if that material is not in that wagon. How do you tackle that? And we'll tackle that in a second. Yeah, we would have to turn this one into anything. Anything undefined. So that's not these two things. Goes this way. And then, so for that one, we'll go like a smart splitter. Maybe here. And then we'll do that. Oh, I thought that was aligned. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of how we are going to tackle this. Okay, and then so let's go here. Iron plate, and then center will be like iron rod, because we need those. And then that's any. So any will go this way, and then same thing. Like that, and here let's go plastic. We use that a lot. Rubber we don't use that much. Let's go with like silica. We need that, and then this should actually be any undefined. And we'll do silica here. Actually no. This will be silica here. And then here this will be just off, none. And then this is not any, it's any undefined. Actually, so that's the right one. We'll do, yeah, any undefined. So that's going to be plastic. And then we'll do any undefined here. Okay, and then left will be silica. None to the right. Center. Will be any undefined again. What do we want here? I'll do any undefined, none. What do I want here? Let's go with like motors? Or, what do I use a lot? Oh, concrete. Absolutely concrete. So any undefined. The left will be, what do I normally get? Like cable, probably? Any undefined, and then, you know what I'll do? I'll do like a wire on this one. No, just regular wire. Okay. And then we'll just kind of clip at that. And that's just super ugly. At least let's, if we're gonna do it, let's be a little bit pretty. What else do we take usually? Steel beams, steel pipes. I wish I didn't put this so close. That's frustrating. I wish I didn't put that so close. I want to merge onto this, but I think, yeah. I mean, I guess I can. Fuck it. It's our temporary line. Who cares? Yeah, so that just merges on, and then basically both of these outputs do that. So what do we want in this one? Any undefined? So it's cable. Do I want wire? Probably wire. Wait, we have wire. Wires going into this one. Steel rods, iron plates, concrete, silica, maybe quartz. We do need quartz. Maybe that's kind of it. If anything, I'll do... Here, let's make the last one like the trash one. And that's what that's going to be. So let's see how this works. Okay. I have this. I don't have screws. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Filter it into our respective sections. Cable. Let's get cable in there. Do I have motors or rotors? I don't know. I don't remember if I did or not. We at least want to get the basics of stuff in here, right? Should do encased industrial beams. We should do a lot of this stuff, but I can maybe build out a better view of that system than what we're currently looking at. But the idea is like, hey, let's get rid of some of these boxes. Ugh. It's all well and good except for all of that crap, right? Yeah, just move on by. Do we have... Yeah, we do. Let's fucking get this moving. I couldn't do that little piece there, so figured, fuck it, might as well just redo that. And we're gonna have to clean this up a little bit, but overall, this is the idea of it. It's basically a sorting system that allows us to go pick up materials from our starter base and bring them here. Whoop. It's a nice little angle bounce there. Bring them here so we can be way more efficient in the building of our factory. Plastic, yep. Let's get this. So that's oh yeah, steel, or like copper sheets. That's a good one. This would be just really good for us to clean up this mess here, and that could just be our storage area over there, but with like a much more it's a way better system by putting stuff into here. We're going to have separate storage containers of which I could label accordingly. Like I also don't need to wait for that. I can just, you know, drop in whatever. I don't know what that one's supposed to be. So yeah, I can put little signs onto these things, and that'll make it a lot easier to understand what's in each of the containers, so I can just walk over, grab whatever items I need, continue building the factory, and then eventually we get this train running by itself to just tackle. So I could just go back and forth and pull all of our materials from the starter base into this one, and we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so right is a wire, so this will be wire. And yeah, for like this could be the overflow of like all of this crap, like the things that like the equipment, the beacons, all of that shit can just go into that one, and then we don't have to worry about it. The problem would be if I'm like requesting too much concrete or something, and I'm not using enough of it here. That could be an issue. And the sorting out of this needs to be double time. So basically the end result needs to be a merger in front of each one of these. with a couple of smart splitters or 4 smart splitters that basically would go down the line, and anything that is, so basically they just filter into each of the things. If not, then they move down the line, and then they just, everything gets added in. So if it's, yeah, so basically mirror the smart splitters above each other, and then it just, each of the lines gets fed in, and then it gets fed into both sides of this. And you could just use the bottom of this or the top, or like you could use one line that takes this and merges with this and then gets sent around. One line takes this, merges with that, and gets sent around. So I'll probably do that off camera. I'll probably build that up in the next video, but give you an idea of how we're going to build our little uh, sorting storage, I guess is the best way to put it, for future use. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.